Hello, this is a Jayleshark and Friends
and Russell
and Russell podcast. And on today's first ever lockdown show, Joe Barnes. We've been trying to get Joe on the podcast for the last few weeks. It hasn't quite worked out. It just so happens that now we're all locked down, that we've managed to work out how to do our podcast on Skype. We didn't know before, but we like to do them face to face. But anyway, this is our first ever social isolating podcast that we're doing with the lovely Joe Barnes. Now, Joe is not only one of the coolest people I know, she's also bloody awesome. Joe's amazing, originally from the UK. She came to Phuket round about maybe 6-7 years ago. Interesting story of what she did in the past and what she wants to do in the future. And if you're looking to start your own lifestyle online business, she's the person to go to. Maybe I should talk to her. Hope everyone is staying safe. Remember, stay inside, stay safe, and don't have any more babies. Because that's what happens when people stay inside. They boom boom a lot and you get more babies. The baby boom is coming. Not for me, though, because I don't have anybody. On that depressing note, enjoy the show. Hi Joe Barnes, how are you?
Hi guys, how are you?
I've got coffee, so I'm fine.
So
All right.
Let's start the podcast. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm just changing rooms, so I got good internet, and I'm here. Look at that.
Well, Joe's very professional. She has right now. She has a headset on, and there's a whiteboard behind you and everything. This is proper.
I'm liking the headset.
Office set up. Hello, Joe.
Hello, Jay. Hello, Russell. How are you?
I'm good. I'm stuck in the office, bored.
Are you? Oh,
Yeah.
Hold on. I just dropped my piece of paper.
Are you making notes?
Yep. Okay,
Wow.
I'm back.
Okay. So this is our first ever podcast that we've recorded. It's not virtually. It's the wrong word, isn't it? I guess.
Because we are doing it.
Yeah, virtually. Oh, it's online virtually. Yeah.
Virtually online, depending on where Joe goes to get her internet down to the corner of the street. So it's going to be interesting. So we apologise for the sound quality and anything else, but pretty much we are still trying to do stuff to make you happy, because if you're anything like me, you're pretty much bored of the whole virus thing and being stuck at home, and life sucks. So we're bringing a bit of sunshine into your ears.
Love it.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So thanks for joining the podcast. Tune in next week.
Yeah, that's it. Have a good day.
So, Joe, tell us about yourself. Who are you and how did you get to Phuket?
Okay, well, that's a loaded question if I ever heard one. My name is Joe, and I am a wife and a mother and an entrepreneur.
Stop for a second. Is your computer moving, or are you on a bouncy chair?
I'm on a ball. Are you recording? Is this a video podcast or an audio podcast?
No, it's audio, but the Skype records it in video for some strange reason, and I extract the audio from the video. It's a frigging pain in the arse, to be perfectly honest. It's much better to talk face to face.
Just we need to talk so I can, give you some guidance on this, because there's another app called Zoom that you could use.
I told you. No,
that records
you.
Yeah, records the audio straight for you, and you really don't have to do too much messing around. But anyway, fear not. Let's. Anyway, so yeah, I've been in Phuket around 9 or 10 years, and I'm here with my little family, my hubby and my daughter. And what brought us here was 10 years ago, we were really miserable in the UK because the weather was terrible and it was really miserable, and so we left.
Whereabouts in the UK were you originally from, young lady?
I originally was from down south in West Sussex, a place called Bognor Regis.
Butlins.
That's where I grew up. I worked at Butlins. I was a redcoat. I was a redcoat at Bognor Butlins.
Perfect.
Do you still have the coat?
Russell, questions.
Do you still have the coat?
I do not have the coat. I do have lots of incriminating photos of me in said coat, but I do not have the coat anymore.
What did you just explain? So you were an official red coat at Butlins. For those who are non-UK listeners, what is Butlins and what was a red coat?
Butlins is a holiday camp. So it's a place where people would go and stay for a week or so, and you had all your usual sort of, swimming pools and restaurants and stuff like that. But it was, if anybody ever saw Heidi High, I guess if you're from around the world, you're not going to know Heidi High. And hello, campers.
Hold on, was it in India?
My Welsh accent.
Oh, sorry, Welsh.
They sound the same.
Anyway, we used to have like family games, and you used to do shows and singing and snooker competitions and sports days, and dress up as big characters and sing happy birthday to people and greet people in the restaurants and all that kind of stuff.
How long were you a red coat for?
2 seasons, a summer and a winter. And
Winter?
I did a New Year's Eve thing with the guys from Bucks Fizz, if you remember Bucks Fizz.
Oh, making your mind up.
Yeah, it was good fun. Yeah.
What did you do with Bucks Fizz? Did you pull the skirt off and everything or not?
We all got on stage and danced and sang and got all the people up on the stage, and just did a big New Year's celebration with all the Bucks Fizz guys.
And how old were you when you were doing this?
I was 20.
Wow.
Couple of years back then.
Yeah, those were the days.
Those were the days, yeah.
Well, we should just clarify for the American audience that are tuning in, when we say red coat, you were just someone there to help and guide and be friendly. You weren't there to sort of shoot people, maraud over the country and take the place over. No. Because the Americans, when you say red coat to an American, it means something very, very different. So I would just, in the interest of clarity.
Yeah, we did wear a red coat though. You did wear a nice big red coat, and and your white shallots.
Shallots? That's an onion.
Shallots. Don't you remember shallots? God, we are going back some 27 years here, guys.
So for those that don't know, Butlins was anti-French. Is that what we're saying?
There's a skirt that's like trousers.
What, a shallot?
Yeah, it's called a shallot, isn't it? There's trousers that's actually a skirt.
No, they're called skorts.
No. Years ago they were called shallots.
It's like a spork, which is a spoon fork. It's called a... No, I've got. What is it called? It's a short.
I'm googling it.
If only there was somewhere we could find out.
Siri.
Now we should say that. Okay, so you were a red coat at Butlins. Now I understand why you're such an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Yes, that was actually part of the job description.
Have you found your skorts? I'm sure they're called skorts.
No, well they are called skorts now, but in my day they were called shallots. I'm telling you.
Oh. That's just a posh onion. Don't even go there.
Yeah, exactly.
Shallot. I can't find it. No, you're right. It's all coming up as onions. But I'm telling you, in my day, it was something like shallot or something like that.
So someone told you that to take the piss, and you just believed them at the time, and you've carried that through for the last 20 plus years. And if they're at home now tuned into those podcasts, they'll be fucking wetting themselves. She still thinks it's a fucking shallot. Can't believe it.
That's brilliant.
I'm so looking that up later. Right.
So when you was at school, did you want to be a red coat? That was your dream?
No. No, I had no idea what I wanted to do. And when I came out of school, I started singing, and I was singing in a band, and I went in for a karaoke competition, and an agent came and signed me up to another holiday camp in Bristol. And it wasn't supposed to be a holiday camp in Bristol. I was supposed to be going on tour with this, funnily enough, oh God, how ironic how things turn around. I was signed up by an agent to go and audition in Bristol to go on a nationwide tour with a Bucks Fizz tribute band. And I couldn't do it because I was too tall, and I was taller than the two guys who were in the Bucks Fizz tribute band. And so I just unfortunately didn't fit the bill. And funnily enough, when I was about 9 years old, I didn't get the part of Sleeping Beauty because I was taller than Prince Charming. So my height has really gone against me over the years. But anyway, so I was too tall to be in the Bucks Fizz tribute band, so I got a job as the singer and dancer at this caravan park in Bristol. And when I left there after a year of doing that, I decided I wanted to continue my career and went and became a redcoat at Bognor Butlins for a year.
When you say
caravan park,
yeah.
It was a holiday camp. It was yeah. I lived in a tiny little one horrific caravan, and it was awful. And it was like an oven in the summer. It was like literally you'd walk in there and roast until you left the caravan. It was terrible. Anyway, that was my experience. Huh?
Do you like Dags?
Dags.
Russell's making a reference to the Snatch. I was waiting for him to do that, and he's done
it. Is that the Brad Pitt? Whatever it is. Yeah.
Russell. Yeah. This is the part we do edit out, Joe, when Russell does that bit. Those bits get canned. The rest of them keep in. So, okay, we've really gone back. I love this. So I've heard you sing, actually, and you have got a hell of a voice. But do you sing much anymore or not really?
No, not now. No, getting too old.
Give us a quick rendition.
Supporting my daughter now, my 13-year-old, who's got a gorgeous voice, who's following in her mum's footsteps. She's got a beautiful voice, trying to encourage her to get out there. I do not want her to be a redcoat at Bognor Butlins. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
Do you know what? I did holiday repping for almost 15 years, and there's nothing wrong with it, Joe. It makes you look what it's made me. Look how it made
yeah, look where we've ended up. We've done so well. Awesome! What a great start in life.
So Bognor Regis. My ex-girlfriend used to live in Bognor Regis, or close by Bognor.
Right.
Anyway, so what then? Where did you go from being a redcoat in Bognor? What was your progression up? So what was you doing before you kind of came to Phuket?
My dad encouraged me to go for a job with a company called Apollo Leisure back in the day as an assistant manager for theatres. And because I'd been a redcoat at Bognor Butlins, the guy that interviewed me just thought that was absolutely fabulous. And even though I had no managerial experience whatsoever, because he just loved the fact I'd been a redcoat, instantly employed me on the spot, which was really amazing. And so I went and became... Say what, Russell?
Who would have thought it?
I know, crazy resume, which is why I tell my daughter all the time, don't even worry about your blimmin' school exams. Do you know what I mean? It's amazing what life experience will get you. Am I not allowed to say that on a podcast?
Well, no, I've got issues because I'm homeschooling with two monsters at the moment, and it's a.
When you said you've got issues, you could have stopped it there.
I know, homeschooling is a nightmare. Anyway, so I went and became an assistant manager of a small theatre in Middlesex, and then I worked my way up to general manager of a very large theatre in Sheffield. And while I was in Sheffield, I then decided I wanted to start my own business, and at the age of 31-ish, became an entrepreneur, and that's it. I've been running my own businesses ever since. Russell,
you got a question. I can sense it.
Okay, I will quickly pull one out of my ass. Any particular reason why theatre, or was it just that just happened to be on the table at the time?
It was on the table at the time, but of course it was entertainment, and I was very much into singing, musicals, dancing, drama, all of that kind of stuff. Always had been all through school and college and all the rest of it. Had done theatre studies as one of my A levels, and English language and all that kind of stuff. And so I was very much into theatre and entertainment and shows. And in fact, I'd always remember at 14, my parents had taken me to see Starlight Express at the Apollo Victoria in London.
Starlight Express, you must confess. Are you real? Yes or no? This is going to go on for a bit.
Okay.
Starlight Express.
That we edit out.
Yeah. I've been listening to that. I've been trying to get my daughter into Starlight Express in the last week or so. It hasn't worked.
Fabulous show. It's a fabulous show. And so yeah, I went to see that when I was 14, and when I was 24, I was the deputy general manager of the Apollo Victoria, where it was showing.
Excellent. But I take it you were more sort of like the operations in terms of just the management of the establishment rather than being involved in the productions that were going on.
Yes.
As much fun as that might be.
The funny thing was I wanted to be on the other side. I wanted to be involved in the productions, and I spent years like talking to production guys. And no, I didn't want to be in the production, but I wanted to be part of the production team. You know, oh my God, me roller skating around the flood, that would have been absolutely hilarious. Oh, Starlight Express the comedy, that would have been.
Jay, I've got an idea.
I've already written it down, mate. Notes are there.
Oh mate, yeah, very funny. So no, I did. I spent many years talking to different people, but it just wasn't to be. That wasn't the way my path was going to go.
Okay, so you decided to can it at the tender age of 30-something and set up your own business. What was that doing?
It was in property back in the day. I started messing around in property for 2 or 3 years. That's where I met my now husband. He was also in property. No, I was doing letting out properties, apartments, that kind of stuff. It was right at the time where city centre apartments were suddenly becoming really hot prospects. And I didn't want to go into property or anything. It was literally that I really wanted to start my own business. I'd been running other people's businesses as a general manager for years, and I had a strong work ethic, and I wanted to do it for myself. I knew I could do it for myself. And so I was just looking for an opportunity, not really knowing what I wanted to do. And I read a book that just said how to set up your own lettings agency. And so I thought, oh, well, that looks like an interesting thing to do. Let's go and do that for a little while.
Okay, and this was still in Sheffield, or did you move from there?
Yeah, no, that was in Sheffield. Yep.
Is that where you met your partner, or are you together by then, or?
No, I met him. He was living in Nottingham at the time. So he's originally from Australia, but he had come over to England. He was a football coach, and he was coaching the youngsters at Nottingham Forest. And then he had left Nottingham Forest to set up his own business, and that's where we met.
I never knew that.
Yes.
Wow.
Hence the podcast, Jay.
Well, I know it's good, isn't it? We should talk more often. It's amazing what happens when you talk to people. I mean, I'm enjoying the coronavirus stuff at the moment because it means I don't have to go anywhere near anybody, and I can stay away. And I love that part of my. I mean, even now in 7-Eleven, it's great that people are away from me. I love it. But I never knew about the Nottingham Forest stuff. That's interesting. So
And what years was he there?
Oh, God, we're going back. How long have we been travelling? We've been travelling 10 years. We were running a business 5 years before that. So you're looking at 15 to 18 years ago.
Okay. So early 2000s. Far out.
How did you two
meet?
I had a really good friend of mine who was a neurolinguist. No, what was he? A master in neurolinguistic programming or something. Anyway, and I was all about the whole go and develop your mind. And
Stop there for a sec. Jay, it's to do with speech. Go ahead.
Thank you.
It's to do with how you think, actually. It's to do with the brain and opening your mind and being more positive and, being able to control your emotions and control your states and all that kind of stuff. And it's really good stuff, actually. And I had a good friend of mine who was like a master in it. And he used to mindset coach football players. So he knew Rhett, and he knew me, and he knew that Rhett had just gone into property and I'd just gone into property, and we ought to meet, and so we did.
That was easy. So he set up his own business doing the same thing, but in Nottingham?
Yeah, something similar. He was into investments and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was doing lettings, he was doing investments, and it kind of matched for a little while. Yeah. That was that. And then the recession happened, 2008 happened, and basically, literally killed the property market overnight, as you know. And we were just pretty much done with everything. We were just really fed up and peed off, and we'd put in a lot of work into our businesses, and we'd lost quite a lot in a very short period of time. And we were just sitting in Ireland. I'll never forget it. We were sitting in Ireland. It was freezing cold. We'd gone over there for a weekend. I can't remember why. And we were sat outside this little ice cream shop on a park bench, and it was absolutely freezing. And we were sat there eating ice creams. And I turned and said to Rhett, honey, you know what? I've always wanted to travel. And we're so peed off with life at the moment. Why don't we see if we can find any house sitting opportunities, anywhere in the world, but not in the UK? And it just so happened that the following weekend, I went to an event in London and met up with a really good friend of mine, Daniel, who was a on-stage speaker and who was running businesses completely online. All his businesses he was doing totally remotely, so he could work from anywhere in the world. And he had an apartment in Cyprus, and him and his girlfriend were going traveling in Europe for the summer and wanted somebody to go and stay in their apartment in Cyprus for 6 weeks while they went traveling. And I phoned Rhett from the foyer of this London venue and said, honey, how do you fancy house sitting in Cyprus for 6 weeks? And by the time I got home on the Sunday night, he'd put our entire belongings on Gumtree, and within 1 week we were gone. The following Saturday we were on a plane and we were in Cyprus.
Brilliant.
Which part of Cyprus, the northern or southern?
Paphos.
Paphos.
Which part of Cyprus, the northern or southern?
I don't know, my geography is terrible. Paphos.
Paphos is on the southern side.
Talking Turkish.
You say Paphos.
We went to the Turkey border actually. We went to the Turkey border and saw the towns and everything and what had happened through the struggles there. I think we did at one point. Yes, I'm trying to remember. Starts with L. Did we go to a place starting with L?
Well, Limassol. That's the main town in the south.
Yeah, exactly, Jay.
And Nicosia is the capital, which is divided. And if you go over the border to places like Famagusta, which is in the north,
oh wow,
it was two completely different worlds.
Yeah.
Russell, why do you know so much about Cyprus?
Because my parents lived there for 4 years.
Mm.
They lived in a little town called Episcopi, which is just outside Limassol. And a good friend of mine from school lives in
Episcopi. What?
Episcopi. It's a little village in Cyprus just outside Limassol.
Sounds like a medical experiment to me.
No, I've heard of Famagusta, so I'm wondering whether we went there while we were there. Would we have done a trip to Famagusta, Russell? Is that likely?
Probably would have done, yeah. If you did the day trip into the north, that's one of the places they take you. It's stunning.
Mm-mm.
I mean, there's nothing there. But it's stunning because of it.
But Cyprus itself is stunning. I mean, we were down in Paphos and we were living in a place that were really close to some sea caves. Yeah. And you just had all the way through the summer, you had cloudless blue skies consistently every single day. It was just the most consistent temperature and, place I've been to, I think, when I've traveled. It's amazing.
So not entirely dissimilar to Sheffield, if we're honest.
Yeah, absolutely. I can totally see the resemblance. Yeah.
Right. So when you're house sitting, you're just staying at their. So you weren't earning money during house sitting. You just stay at someone's house.
We were staying at somebody's house, and that's when I decided to try and set up a business online so that we could continue traveling and be able to work remotely.
And what was the choice of business?
Oh, that's somebody's phone.
Who's that?
That was me. Sorry.
Well, at the time, again, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and I met lots of people and networked a lot online, and Facebook was in the early days of Facebook pages for business, and I started to immerse myself, having come from a business and corporate background, I started to immerse myself in how to use Facebook for business, and I began to teach people how to use Facebook for business, and I created a business from that, which got very successful pretty quickly, went really well.
And so you were in Cyprus at this time?
I was in Cyprus as we started to build that. And then we went to Australia because that's where Rhett's from originally. So we went over to Australia for a little while via Thailand. It was my very first footstep into Thailand, 2 weeks up at Macau. Had never been to Thailand before, never wanted to come to Thailand because I was convinced that all of the women here were absolutely tiny and I was going to be like a massive heifer lump, and it was like my worst nightmare come true. And loved it the minute I got off the plane. I just remember the feeling. I got off the plane and we were staying at a really dodgy little place near Nanyang, and Rhett took me to, he had already come here to start Muay Thai boxing for a few weeks before we came out. My mum had come over to Cyprus and we'd stayed in Cyprus for a few weeks. Rhett had come here before me. He'd checked out the area on a moped, all the rest of it, booked the hotel. And the night we got in, we went onto the beach, and that was when there all used to be the restaurants along Nanyang Beach. And we sat on one where you kind of sat on a bench, so you were kind of like, not on a proper chair, you were almost sort of sat on the sand, and they came out with like chicken and cashew nuts, some Penang curry and all the rest of it. And I remember sitting there thinking, oh my God, this is like the most amazing place in the world. And this was like at about 11 o'clock at night, and the temperature was amazing and the water was washing up on the ocean. And I remember thinking, oh, I love this. And I just loved it from the minute I literally set foot on Thailand soil.
So did you carry on to Australia, or was that it?
Yeah, no, we stayed here for 2 weeks. The plan was to go to Australia. We didn't have a lot of money at the time. So we were going over to stay with his mum and dad for a few months. And we did that. And then the following April, I did a big launch for my business, and it went really, really well. And then we were back in England at the time. We were down at my mum's, and then we left and we came back to Thailand. And then we pretty much stayed here on and off from then on in. We kind of stayed here. We went to Australia. We started traveling around a bit, staying in different places, seeing the world. We've gone to about 30 odd different countries in the last 10 years now, just traveling around and seeing places. And now we're just waiting for Keris to finish school. We're just literally waiting for her to finish so that we can get rid of everything we own, don our backpacks and head off again.
But to be fair, you've already mentioned at school and exams are pointless. So really,
it's her, Russell. I have tried to convince her to leave. I have talked to her repetitively about the opportunities out there of life experience over sitting in a classroom doing exams. She is a little social animal, and she is desperately worried that if she comes traveling with us, she will not have her friends around her. She's an only child. She won't have her friends around her, and that is why she wants to stay at school. And so I've said to her, okay, look, we'll give you 2 years to do your IGCSEs. If you want to do your IGCSEs, you can do them, but you have to commit to going for it, because a work ethic is important no matter what she does, whether I agree with exams or not. So I've said to her, okay, we'll give you 2 years to do your IGCSEs, but after that, you'll come in traveling with us for at least a year or 2 years before you make any further decision on further education or what you want to do with your life.
Fair enough.
Yeah, though, I mean, travelling with your mum and dad isn't as exciting as travelling with your friends or your mate or your partner. So we
are so exciting. We're such an exciting mum and dad, though. She totally disagrees. I think we're the most exciting people on the planet.
I've seen you two in various states of
alcohol.
And I'm not sure it is that exciting hanging out with you. I mean, if I remember rightly, a few weeks back, you could barely stand up.
I so wish that I could have remembered what that Erasure song was. I really do wish, because it was mine and Berkey's favourite Erasure song, and I couldn't remember what it was because I'd had too much to drink.
So a few weeks back, I DJed...
So it was my wedding day.
No, that's fair enough. So let's explain. So a few weeks back, you got officially married, and you had an amazing wedding. So you decided to do something very different, and you did the wedding during the daytime, so everyone was drinking from about 9 a.m.
No, from 12.
9 a.m. So I was supposed to be DJing the night bit. I got there, I think, about lunchtime, and I wandered over to say hi to everybody. You were all blottoed by the time I got over there, which was about 2 in the afternoon. And I wasn't coming on till about, I don't think, 8. And I was thinking, my God, there's no way these guys are going to survive. And you were amazing, though, because you kept going. And in all fairness, you did ask for this Erasure song, and you did what all people do at weddings. Oh, can you play that Erasure song? And I'm like, which one? Oh, you know, the famous Erasure song. I'm like, they're quite a big band. They've done a few. Which one do you want? Well, you know, that famous one. He likes that one. And I'm like, oh, mate, this is ridiculous. I didn't have it. We tried.
So I hear you calling, oh baby, please. That one. Don't you give a little respect to me?
3, 4 weeks ago, I had no idea what it was. Can I just tell another story about that wedding? Actually, now
please don't.
Okay, I won't embarrass you too much. On the tables, you had laid out lots of little sparkly jewels and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Now, I went, because my daughter was doing an Egyptian project, And I saw these little sparkly jewels at the end of the night, and I thought, you know what? I'll grab a handful of them because we'll make a little.
They weren't mine. I had lovely jewels, and somebody else came and spread all those out on the table. They were not mine.
So I grabbed what I thought was beautiful jewels, put them in my pocket. The next day I woke up, I said to my daughter Sahara, I said, look, I've got these jewels for you. Took these jewels out of my pocket, and they weren't exactly the nicest shaped jewels in the world. They were small penises. And I put a load of small penis jewels in my daughter's Egyptian project, which then went to school. I then had to apologise to the teachers, and I say, I think I've got them all, but you might find some small penises in my daughter's Egyptian project, which they did. I got a couple of teachers came up to me after and said, oh, here we go, we found these. I think you want to take them back.
I think you'll find that was your good friend Donna Toon who had ordered those small penises for my hen night, and they hadn't arrived in time, so she'd brought them to the wedding and spread them everywhere. I remember my friend Lauren wandering around with them all over her chest. Oh, that was a good day. That was a great day. A really good day.
Joe and I, we met when you first came here. Then that was a few years ago. When did you actually first arrive on the shores of Phuket?
Oh, well, years and years ago. But when we settled here was when I met you at RPM. Do you remember? At the Royal Phuket Marina, and so that was 5 years ago.
Yeah, it must have been.
Something like that, yeah.
Ish. Right. Kerry started at BIS at grade 5, and she's now in year 9, 6, 7, 8, about to go into year 10. So almost 5 years ago.
So just on that note, what was your daughter's name?
Keris.
Keris. And when and where was she born?
She was born in Sheffield.
Okay, so you'd set your own business up, you were still traveling, and then all of a sudden...
This was pre-travel. And when we started traveling, Keris was 4 years old. And that week that we sold all of our stuff, we literally sold her little plastic bike from under her 4-year-old butt. She was cycling down the road, and some guy came to buy everything. And I literally said to her, honey, you need to get off the bike now. And she was like, why? And I'm like, because this man's going to take it. She was like, well, I want my bike.
So I can relate to that. When I was 4 years old, we moved from... we were living in Wembley at the time. We moved from there to Hong Kong. Now, I'm imagining Keris was the same. She wasn't really involved in a decision-making process, I'm guessing, at that point, and neither was I. It just happened. But as it happened, it was just before my birthday, I believe, and my parents had bought me a bike for my birthday, which then had to be sold because we were moving to Hong Kong. So I know how it feels to have your bike.
Oh, do you know? Can I just tell you another
life?
Can I tell you another quick story? Because actually, I think there's another story that scarred it scarred me actually for life more than Keris, I think. A few years later, we were going to Tenerife for Christmas. We were taking my mum to Tenerife.
Yeah, that'll scar you for life.
And so we'd gone to England. Pre going over to is it Tenerife or Spain? I can't remember. Anyway, we were.
I think Tenerife.
It is. But we went to Tenerife one Christmas and we went to Spain another. I can't remember which one. But anyway, we bought Keris a scooter for Christmas, which she loved, right? It was from Father Christmas, yeah? And she was literally on it night and day. And we took it with us over to wherever we'd gone. And there was no problem. They told us to take it in our hand luggage, put it up in the, luggage, whatever. And she rode it for the whole 2 weeks we were away. And on the way back, they would not let us take it through as hand luggage and said we had to check it in, and ran the length and breadth of this airport to go and check it in. And they told me we was too late, and we went back, and this woman would not let us take it through. And Keris was in tears, and I was in tears, and I was telling her that it was from Father Christmas, and she was ripping a present from Father Christmas out of my daughter's hands, and she still didn't let it through. Anyway, just a little story there about airport control.
Which airline was that?
Oh God, I can't remember. Years ago, can't remember.
Going to slag them off and go and leave some nasty reviews on their website.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully they've gone under.
Yeah,
they probably are now. Joe, so what do you do now? What's your current job?
Well, I must admit, primarily supporting my daughter at the moment through her school life and adolescence. But my hobby, if you like, is I help people online build what I call lifestyle businesses. So a business that you can run from anywhere in the world. So I basically blog and make videos and run a little Facebook group, really more out of love than anything else. And I work with people who have small, businesses that they develop out of a passion. So somebody who just loves health and fitness, or somebody who loves making jewelry, or somebody who loves their pets or whatever. And I basically show them through my blogs and my videos and all this of it, how they turn that into a brand, how they build an audience, how they utilize social media to grow their brand and their audience, and how they then turn that into a product, how they monetize it, and how they sell products online, either physical products, digital products, sell their services, whatever. And I basically walk them through that whole process. So that's kind of what I do as a hobby. The other business that we had was a business based out of Hong Kong, and we sold products, e-commerce. We sold kitchen products, cooking products that we manufactured over in China, and we sold in the States, and we've recently sold that. So my husband is currently exploring further business opportunities as we speak, although the climate right now, it does not lend itself to that at the moment.
But you also do podcasting as well, do you not?
Yes, that's part of my helping people build their lifestyle business. So my brand is called yourlifestylebusiness.com, and I do a podcast called Your Lifestyle Business, and I do videos and I do blog posts, and yeah.
So with your podcast, because obviously that's now a competitor for us, would you?
Jay, it's hardly a competition. I mean.
Oh no, very true. So what sort of stuff do you talk about on your do you interview people on your, because I'm interested in the podcast stuff. So how does your podcast work? Because that's interesting to me.
Yep. Okay, so there's a couple of ways. So first of all, I like to interview interesting people who have built or are building their own lifestyle business, who are traveling the world, who are working remotely, or people who have tips and tricks to share with people who want to build their lifestyle business. So people who are specialists in Facebook or Instagram or blogging or building an audience or whatever, I will interview people and question them and quiz them to find out any tips or tricks or anything that they can offer to help my audience. And then other than that, I might do solo podcasts sometimes. So I'll literally just sit in my room and record something I've learned or something I've tried, something I'm experimenting with, anything that I think can help my audience. And I tend to just, I mean, if this is of any use to you guys, if it's just me on my own, I tend to keep the podcast quite short, 10, 15 minutes tops, because I think just one voice can get quite tedious. And when I'm interviewing other people, then you can go up to 45, an hour, hour and a half, provided the information the other person's offering is really interesting to your audience.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much how we do. I mean, Russell and I do our own when we don't have a guest. It's normally a lot shorter than when we do have a guest.
Yeah.
That's how it kind of just pans out for us.
Although there's two of you, though. So I think having two people on a podcast is so much more interesting than one. I think one of my goals moving forward would be to find a co-host for when I'm literally just doing those solo things, because two voices is always, when you're just listening to audio, two voices is so much, a discussion, a conversation is so much more interesting than a soliloquy, I guess, when you're just literally standing there talking into a microphone.
Yeah, no, when they are silly, I don't like silly podcasts either, to be fair. So what do you enjoy doing most with because you say this is more of a hobby for you, so do you enjoy doing the videos, the podcasting, or what part of your hobby do you enjoy doing the most?
I think my favorite thing is the engaging with other people. So I just love chatting and talking to other people. So whether that be in the Facebook group, people asking questions, me responding, talking to them, getting people on Facebook Lives, interviewing them, chatting with them about their business and what they're doing. Like last week, for instance, I've got some friends who a few years ago took one of our courses when I used to sell courses, and they followed our course, and they're now traveling the world, running their own Amazon e-commerce business, and they're now here in Phuket. They came over for the wedding, and then they chose to stay here during the current situation. They didn't want to go back to the UK, and then all the borders and everything closed anyway, so they kind of got stuck. And the son, Dan, who's 28, he's just building his new brand called Wondering Worthy, which is a travel brand which will take off once everything returns to normal. And so having him here one-to-one for us to jump on a Facebook Live last week into my Facebook group and talk about all the different ways he can monetize that brand, how he can grow that brand, and build that into a nice profitable business for him over the next couple of years, discussing that, throwing ideas at him, having that discussion, and then getting into the group and talking with all of my audience. It's the whole for me, it's the engagement. I'm not the one thing about running an online business which I can struggle with, anybody can struggle with, is that a lot of it's you on your own. And I'm a real people person, so I do miss that real sort of interaction with people. So I try and get as much of it as I can online through experiences like this. I love this. I'll get off this call now and I'll be on a real high for the rest of the day because I've had chat with you guys. It's been fun. We've interacted. We've engaged. It's something I love to do.
So you just hit the nail on the head for what I was going to ask you next about in terms of having this online presence. And obviously we're drawing this out of you. You don't strike us like a chatty person in the slightest. But it's the problem that the three of us I would share is that we have individualistic businesses, so our engagement with others is in some ways limited.
Yes.
But we're all people, and we like that engagement. So how do you find that as a struggle? Well, obviously Jay isn't. He's a fucking hermit. But
he shouldn't be with his personality. I've told him before.
Yeah.
No, you are right, Joe. Joe and I have had many discussions about my life. And Joe has tried to help me. Unfortunately, I just don't listen.
You just need to, I shouldn't say it publicly, but you need to believe in yourself more because you're such a talented person. And I just don't think you see that.
He's just a twat. Just be honest, Joe.
And you clearly have a really good support network.
Exactly. Yeah, my only friend in this whole damn world. Do you know what I found out actually a couple of weeks back, Joe? Is Russell, who I thought was my only friend. I'm now not even his number one friend. Fat Rob is his number one friend, not even me.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Fat Rob. That's terrible. I don't even know who Fat Rob is.
No, I don't know who no one knows who Fat Rob is. He's some mythical creature that Russell's made up to make me feel.
I tell you what. Seeing as the Skype thing is going well, I'll see if he wants to be on the podcast.
Yes, next week, Fat Rob. There will be a Skype fight.
I'll have a little chat. Jay and Nobby face off.
Joe, we are actually we're coming to. We're not. I mean, I'm very happy to chat to you more, but yeah, we're getting to a 42-minute odd mark. Just a couple more things. So, you say you want to. Well, we'll probably get into the bucket list. Actually, I guess we're going to come on to that now. What? Oh God, Russell, look, Joe's got notes.
I wrote it. Well, listen, I dug this out specifically for this podcast. I wrote this when I was in my 20s. I've got dates and deadlines on it that have all passed, and some I've done, and some I haven't done. And I thought I'd pick a few out for this podcast. It was a bit of fun.
I love deadlines. Deadlines are fantastic. You know what the best thing about a deadline is? The sound it makes as it goes whoosh past.
For those listening on the podcast, Joe has just picked up about 54 bits of paper. I mean, that's the longest bucket. That's not a bucket list. That's a Bible, is it not? I mean, some are highlighted.
Highlighted as well.
Stuff. Right, okay, so ladies and gentlemen, that was a 45-minute podcast. Sit back for the next hour as Joe goes through each and every one of her bucket list items. Joe, up to you. Go.
Take one from each page.
No, I was going to say, I'll just pick a few. So, some of the ones that I've done are to spend New Year in Sydney, watching the Sydney fireworks. To scuba dive off the Great Barrier Reef. Remember, I wrote these in my 20s, when I didn't even know what travel was.
Oh, I got a blister. Look. Wonder what that's from. You can tell we're
You're an isolation, aren't you?
Don't want that picture in my head right now.
Too late.
These are ones you've already. Sorry, these bucket lists. These are ones you've already achieved.
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yes. So scuba diving off the Great Barrier Reef, getting married on the beach. Hey. Oh my goodness. What else have I done? Hot air balloon. That was actually over Egypt, but I did it over Bagan in Myanmar. Watched the Epcot fireworks with the man of my dreams. Did that.
Whoa, I wasn't there. Where was I?
Be a size 12. God, I haven't bloody achieved that for years. God almighty. Oh my goodness. Oh no, I won't say that one.
No. I
don't want to do that anymore because I never used to be conscious of animal cruelty and now I am, so I don't want to do that one anymore.
Oh, you were going to be a hunter. You wanted to go hunting.
No, I wanted to go shark fishing actually.
Oh, that's okay. You can catch some sharks.
Yeah, but no, I don't want to do that one. Okay, so let's see. I'd like to host a party on a yacht is something that I said in my 20s. I'm not sure I want to do that anymore, to be honest with you. Oh, drive a race car around a Grand Prix track. Now, I didn't actually do it, but I did get into a race car with Stig around the Top Gear racetrack in the UK for my birthday a couple of years ago.
Who was Stig?
I don't know. He had a helmet on. And it probably wasn't the Stig. It was a guy with a helmet on pretending to be Stig as part of the Grand Prix experience.
What car? Do you remember what car it was?
A fast one.
It was red.
No, it was the one. It was the bigger version of the one that James Bond used to drive.
DB7, DB8, DB9.
It was an Aston Martin. It was an Aston Martin. Yes, I know that. Yeah.
Okay, so you've done all these things. What would be some of your top non-achieved, not done yet bucket list items?
I wanted to star in a music video.
Jay and I can help you with that.
Like Duran. Like, Rio. I used to love Duran, the Rio music video, and I always wanted to be in the background.
And she dances on the sand. And then they do a video of her dance on a boat, which I never got that part. I mean, if dance on the sand, they're on a yacht. But every time I get on a yacht, I have to go to the front of that boat, put my arms out and sing Rio. Every boat I get on.
Do you?
Everyone.
Well, we should get some video of that next time.
When we're allowed out, Joe, when we're not being cooped up in isolation.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll do a music video with you on roller skates.
Ooh,
next.
Wow. Make note of that, Russ.
Oh, mate, it's all going to end in tears. Okay, funnily enough, one of my bucket list items is to go paintballing. I've never been paintballing. How mad is that? I've never, ever been paintballing.
Fair enough. I mean, it's hard. Well, okay, we'll organise it.
I want to go to Tibet. I've never been to Tibet. I think I might have written that after I saw the film 7 Years in Tibet with Brad Pitt. Yeah. So I think I may have written that then. I want to drive across America in a convertible.
What if it rains?
Get wet.
Yeah. I may have done that after I saw another Brad Pitt film. What's that one with the two women? What's the one with the two women that turn into Yes, sorry, Thelma and Louise. Yes, I probably wrote that one after that.
Which one is Brad Pitt, Thelma or Louise in that movie?
No, he's the young lad that
that was kind of his breakout film, wasn't it, really?
It was a breakout film, yeah. Have a flat stomach. Never achieved that. Learn to street dance.
I mean, I'm not being old. I love you, Joe.
Street. Those are two different things.
Hold on, Russ. How many have you got, Joe? Because, I mean, it was 45 minutes an hour ago.
I've got loads. Go to the 7 Wonders of the World, bungee jump off a bridge in New Zealand, see gorillas in live habitat, dance with a tribe in Africa, cruise up the Nile. I've done that. I've cruised up the Nile. Be a published author, direct a movie, parachute. I don't want to do that anymore.
Why not?
I just really don't want to do that anymore. I'm totally over that. Have you ever parachuted? Either of you?
No, but skydiving's on my list.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. Anyway, yeah, so lots of those are not applicable anymore. Now I just want to travel the world, have more travel experiences. And can I just mention, I really would like to, over the years, when I'm sort of Keris has grown up a bit and I can spend more full time on my business, raise mass awareness to micro lending to women in developing countries who build businesses to transform their villages and their lives. And it's basically like crowdfunding, micro lending, and you can go and lend these women like 25, 50, $100, and it helps them to build these little businesses in their villages that just completely transform their lives. So having been to Cambodia and places like that and seeing firsthand how some of these women live, I would love to become somebody who can promote that and really raise some mass awareness with that through all of my online skills over the years.
Sorry, just to jump in on that, because it sounds pretty cool, but when you say micro lending, the micro is obviously you can do small amounts, $5, $10, $15, $20 and what have you. Great, because more of the masses can afford that. But how does it work from their part? So if they've been lent all this money, by definition, they've got to pay it back.
Yep, they do. So it's really well done. So basically it works through NGOs in the different countries. And there's a company called Kiva.org. If people want to check it out, it's called Kiva.org. They specialize in it. And what they do is they go and they find and vet NGOs that they want to work with, and all of the money, every single penny that you lend gets through to the person that's asking for the loan, and then they have to repay it, and they have to repay it with a little bit of interest as well. So as they grow their business and as they build, they then start to repay the loan, and they do it. A lot of them do it as communities. So a lot of these women in these villages get together as big communities of women, and they form these big groups. And so a big group of women will work on one woman's business and grow that until that becomes, and then they'll all work on another person, and then it goes around like that, and they all help each other, and the money gets paid. And rather than you taking the money back out, what you do is you leave the money in there and it gets lent to somebody else.
Yeah, sure.
So all of a sudden you're creating this ripple effect, and your $1, $25, $50, $100, whatever you choose, can now be can now help transform hundreds of people's lives rather than just one. And I was looking at a micro lending organization the other day, can't remember their name, but they had such a good tagline, and it was giving a hand up, not a handout, which I thought was great.
Sweet. Okay. And you can't remember the name of the company?
No, but Kiva.org is the company to go to anyway, because they have just got so much vetting and all the rest of it in process.
Could you just spell this Kiva.org for a dyslexic person? I'll try to write a notes down. How do you spell it?
KIVA.org.
Okay. We'll put that as a link in the description. All right, Miss Barnes, is there anything else that you wish to promote while you're here?
I think I'd just like to say to your audience listening, if they're currently, you're right there, Jay?
Yeah,
is that a dry cough?
Yeah. You got a temperature?
No, honestly, the problem is, I'll be honest, I've had my little monsters have been staying with me for last week, so they're actually in the lounge at the moment watching, I don't know what they're watching, hopefully nothing bad. And Ashton had a cough for about 3 weeks before this whole thing went mental. And now every time I have a little cough, I'm thinking, oh, I got it. And I'm testing, and I'm really worried because my little kids, they got runny noses. Is that, honestly?
Okay. You do know that stress, that does ruin your immune system, though. You need to try and, stay calm.
Oh, that's okay. Because if there's anyone that I don't have to worry about when it comes to stress, it's Jay. So we're okay with that.
Oh, I'm not stressed. As a consultant with 2 small children that's about to be told that, we don't need your consultant anymore for the next month or so. Yeah, I'm really not stressed.
Yeah.
Can I recommend Calm? It's an app on your phone. It's meditation. It's, it's calm mindset. It's breathing exercises, listening to music, lovely voice in your ear.
That's fine. That's
my Calm.
Or that is also an option, of course.
Yeah.
No, I would just like to say to anybody listening that if they're at home and they are finding themselves a bit frustrated and a bit bored, if you have a side hustle in you, now is the time to explore that option. If you've ever had a bit of a hankering to do something on your own, if you have a bit of a passion and you want to turn it into profits, now is the time. You're at home, you're not allowed out. So explore those options. There are so many people online, so many resources you can go and look up to learn how to build a side hustle from home and take control of your destiny. That's what I say to all of my people, take control. And check me out on yourlifestylebusiness.com.
And if people want to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
Yeah, just go to my blog, yourlifestylebusiness.com, or come and join my Facebook group. If they just type in Your Lifestyle Business and look for groups on Facebook, you'll come and find me. And that's where there's a big group of like-minded entrepreneurs all on a similar journey, having lots of fun.
Sweet.
Jo Barnes, you have been amazing. I'm pleased we did this. I'm very pleased we did this. It was very good. And no, thank you very much. It was a great, just the Butlins alone.
Yeah.
It was amazing for me.
We peaked very early.
We did peak early. All right, so
thank you, guys.
No worries, but I'm going to stop recording and then we're going to take it. I just need a screenshot of us all. And but Jo, thank you very much. We'll put all the links in the description below. So get hold of Jo because she's an amazing person. And yes, she does pep talk me all the time and I should listen to her more. And I don't, and I apologise about that. But your wedding was amazing, by the way. I really enjoyed that, apart from Erasure.
There's nothing wrong with Erasure.
Thanks,
you need to play this out with that song now, Jay. You know that.
Yes.
All right, I will do. I'll go and do it now. Thanks, Jo. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Are you there?
Yeah, that was a good one, huh?
I enjoyed that. That was fun.
She's a real amazing. I do like Jo. She's always been very supportive of me. She's always put her arm around me when I've needed it, and she has always tried to tell me that I need to believe in myself more and do more. And no, she's a very top chick. I love like I said, the Butlins thing has made it for me. End of conversation. Butlins is fantastic.
I was impressed with that. I was rather impressed, if not slightly concerned, about the 17,000-page booklet on bucket list items.
Yeah, that was a bit much, to be fair.
Although fair play, it's good to have these little targets in mind and things to check off the list. Because if you've got a list of things to do, whether it's bucket list, work things, whatever it is, it does feel good. And this is my sort of shit to do list here for work. And when you tick stuff off and think, yeah, I've done that, it does always feel pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not very good at that, and I should do it more. I write lists and then I lose them and write another list and then lose them and write another list. Anyway, how are you doing with all this craziness that's going on? Are we should we just mention it quickly and just say let's all be friends?
Yeah, my view is, like a couple of weeks ago, if I'm being honest, it was a bit darker because we're sitting there going, and like for me with opening this new facility, which is now just sitting here, it was all a bit like, fuck! Whereas now it's a bit like, fuck it, we're all in the same sinking boat. We might as well just wait and see.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it is.
There's nothing anyone can do anywhere to fix it. It's not like we're not doing the right things. It's just this is it for everyone. So we've just got to, you know what, write it out as best we can, and we will.
But no, I think that we should do another recording. If this one works well, and I'll go and do the editing tonight and get this out. If this works well, we'll try to do a few more, a couple a week. Just to give people something to do. I think that's the important thing is it's frustrating that you're at home and got nothing to do apart from try to homeschool 2 kids, get food for 2 kids, do my work, tidy up, do some planting, do my composting.
Yeah.
I did compost the other day. Anyway, look, I'm getting into stop motion animation, which we're going to do our own little Russell and Jay stop motion animation movie.
I've got some ideas for that.
You asked me to remind you about something about broken glass and your... You want to tell that story before we go?
Oh, no, it's very quick. It's kind of cool. So my nephew is... the cool thing with the whole Skype thing is if this works, this expands our opportunity to go global in terms of bringing in other people for interviews because they can be absolutely anywhere to do that, which is fantastic. So anyway, my nephew, who is 19... Yeah, 19. And he's used to play a lot of rugby, goes to the gym, he's pretty zipped, pretty fit. So we're back and forth on WhatsApp every now and again. And I sent him a few workouts for him to try because now he's locked at home, he can't get to the gym and it's doing his head in. And he's like, I need some ideas. So I've sent him some ideas of things that he can do. So I messaged him last night and said, mate, here's another workout for you to try. He came back and said, yeah, I'll give that a crack later on. Right now, Mum's got me cleaning the windows. I said, oh, I can help you with that. Just clean one of the windows, put a little bit too much pressure on, not too much that you break the window, but just enough you get a good crack. And then you can go back to him and say, oh, look, I'm really sorry, I just cracked a window, but at least she's not going to make you clean the windows again. Brilliant. Wake up this morning, I had a message from my brother-in-law saying, thanks for the advice to Gregor, with a picture of a cracked window.
So you actually got him to break a window, Russell?
That is epic. That is epic uncle points right there.
That makes you the favourite uncle.
Yeah.
Russell, I hope you're doing well. Let's look. I didn't know what to say then. I went all mumbly.
It's been great. It's been emotional. See you next week.
Well, I'll probably see you before that. Let's try to. If this works, then I'll give you a shout later. If this doesn't work, then bugger. But if it does work, then yeah, we'll see. We'll do more. Look, Russell, thank you very much, my friend. If they want to get hold of you for any dog advice, do you want to give out your number so people can call you if their dogs are at home and don't know what to do? 091-654-1960, or alternatively, and perhaps better, just go onto the Facebook page, Canine Point Academy, and reach me through there. Fair enough.
Yes. Cheers, buddy.
Right. Thanks, mate. I'll talk to you soon, okay? It's lunch. See you, mate.
Bye.
Bye.